Welcome to DivTech 101, aka Black Mantle. In today's video, we are going to be discussing IT and how I got into the field itself, people. Now, this is going to be a very exciting video that I go over from the beginning to the end to current day, so that way you will know exactly what to do if you decide to get into the IT field itself. So one of the first things that I did as a kid is I remember going to neighbor's house and also going to school, and we had computers and computer labs. And what I would do is not only at home and at school, I would start to tinker around with the computers in a way that was different from what most kids were doing in the classroom. So from that point, I remember going into my granddad's computer lab when he had it in his shop, woodworking shop. And in there, I was able to see the Tandy 1000s, right? So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the Tandy 1000s. And there was a game called Carmen Sandiego on there, and Minesweeper and Solitary and everything like that. And I would start to play those games in the lab. So after playing the games in the lab, I started to know my way around the computer, started learning the different functions of it. You know, something as simple as learning how to take the floppy disk out of drive A, learning what the C drive was for the local hard drive that was within the computer. Now, we didn't yet have CD-ROMs in there quite yet. Those have not actually came around quite yet, but they were right there on the cusp. Then I remember going into another part of the school, and we had these Apple computers with these very, very large disks. And these were the floppy disks that were a lot larger than the other modern ones that you all were used to seeing, which was the 3.5-inch floppy disk. And those were really, really small, but there was ones that were black and they were really, really large, and you used to have to slide those into the floppy disk drive, and you turn the little knob in order to lock it. So learning the outside and inner workings of the computer was fine, but I still was not yet amazed until I was able to bring a computer home that I had found on the street, and I basically broke that thing apart, people. I broke it apart in a way where some of the things I could repair back, some things I could not, but I was always fascinated with the electronics within a computer. Now, that could have came from movies like watching MacGyver growing up, to as well just wanting to be curious about how things work. But it ended up turning out very, very well, because from that little experience that I had personally, wasn't quite a job opportunity yet, but it was definitely something worth noting. So then I moved on from working in the house to working on neighbors' computers and different people in the community. When I would go over to do term papers for school, I remember that they would ask me questions about their computer, uninstalling software, installing software, things like that. Really start to help shape my experience and perspective into IT. And I was beginning to get a little traction and move forward, even to the point where there was a small business in our community that needed a help with the computer because they had messed it up. And I literally had to try everything to get this computer back working. Now, without having a formal education at the time, before then, a formal college education, not even a high school diploma quite yet, because keep in mind, I'm still in high school, I was able to go and kind of tinker around and start learning different things. And I learned really quick just by catching on, learning the things behind the scenes, working with that particular small business, and also helping friends and other people within the community with their computers. Now, at that moment back in time, I knew, okay, man, it'd be nice to have a business like this one day. And so, coming from high school, going into college, first couple years in college, I was like, okay, I like IT, but I want to major in something else. And that didn't work out for me because my passion was truly in IT. So I had to figure something out really, really quick. And then it dawned on me, hey, you really like working on computers. Why not go ahead and work in something that you absolutely love? So from that point, I knew, okay, I need to go ahead and turn this up full scale. So definitely before graduating college and post college, I had what I call a little gig, right? A little side hustle, and I used to be able to work on other people's computers, other businesses' computers, and I wasn't quite sure how a business should operate. And still to this very moment, I've learned so much, and of course transformed my tinkering around into a actual legitimate business that I do. I really enjoy working on people's computers. And so when you're working and fixing people's computers in your own business versus working for an organization, there are a couple, most definitely a whole lot of advantages. You get the opportunity to break things the way that you want, and you're not bound to the rules of an organization, what you can and cannot do. So you will definitely learn that real quick. So while working for someone else, yes, you have access to high end equipment, and if you break it, I mean, you probably get fired. But why would you want to go through that when you can literally buy some messed up server on eBay? If you want to learn networking, buy like a little small hub, hook it up, hook the computers up, get yourself working that way. If you want to learn IT operations, desktop support, help desk, buy you a couple of broken computers online, ask your family members, because people throw computers outside all the time. Put those together in the lab so that you can piece it together to learn IT. Your absolute best knowledge is going to come from you actually getting physical IT equipment, bringing that equipment home, and then you figuring out how to connect the dots. And I'm going to tell you where to start. Okay. You're going to go online. You're going to get your computers so people can see how you operate and how you will work. All right, so if you're unsure how to build your own lab so that you can gain your experience into IT, I'm going to basically show you on eBay as a demo so that way you will know kind of what to search for. So get your paper pen ready if you need to. And people, the best thing about IT that I love, I've learned more in IT with my own personal experience than I have working for a company. That right there, there's no other description that you need behind that. Because when you work for a company, you're only bound and only able to learn what they want you to learn inside of a box, okay? You have to stay within that box. It's what you got hired for, right? But when you work for yourself or you experience IT on your own time, like at home, your extracurricular activities and at home, when you experience it on your own, you get to build your lab the way that you want, and you get to play around in an unblocked playground. So let me show you how you're going to get this done. So let's go ahead and jump right over to it. So if you go on to eBay, just like I have here, what you're going to see is this thing here. Okay, I went basically on there, and I'm going to look for, and I got some things in the cart, but let's look for Cat 6 patch cables, and the patch cables are going to be extremely short, depending on like the length. You don't want anything 25 and 200 feet in length. You basically want to get like a pack, so we can go anywhere between 1 and 4 feet, because you can do your lab like in with this amount of cables that you have here. Okay, and so what you're going to do, you're going to come into here. You definitely, if you want to use a seller refurbish, that's fine. Like that's not a problem. But like right here, it doesn't matter the color. The color, some people like to use different colors for different things. But even if you got just a few cables, that's fine. So I'm just going to go with green here, and cable length, I'm going to say 3 feet, right? And for a quantity, I would say at least get 10 cables there, okay? So you can definitely spend that $3.59 and get cables. And it doesn't have to be from this vendor. I'm not endorsing this vendor or anything. This is just kind of me just off the top of my head, just helping you trying to get your card together. And so I'm going to add those, then I'm going to come back to it. And then if you look at our cart, okay, I have a computer in here, all right? Yeah, the computer is like $199. You can find like some old computers like right here. I can take this computer right here. It's got Windows 11 on it, 256 gigabytes for 90 bucks. Here you got this old Dell Latitude over here. I will go with the older kind of model versus a new, so that way if you decide to mess something up, you can. Let's just say, just for the record, we're going to go to this pre-owned computer, right? And this actually does not look bad at all. I mean, this looks like a decent computer. Actually, I have one similar to this, which is a 7 series one, but I'm going to go ahead and add that to the cart too. You don't want to get protection on it, because just in case you tear it up, that's fine. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add that here. Let me go back because it didn't add it in there. Add to cart. Got my own protection. Proceed to cart. All right, so I'm going to delete this $199 one here. So we're going to set up our own lab, people. All right, so you need to be able to. So you got your computer, you got your patch cables. The other thing that you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to know how to sort between the two. So you got your computer, you got your patch cables. Okay, now you need a small hub that you can use so that you can connect computers and stuff like that. If you want to get like 2 to 3 computers, that's fine. You're gonna need one that you can work off of, and you want 2 that you can remote into, tap into, so that way you learn in your IT. And this is how I learn, people. Just getting free stuff. Even if you go to like an organization, like a company, oftentimes they are literally throwing away computers, and you can actually just maybe get that for free. So check your local PC store, check your local school, check your local college, university. They may be throwing old computers away. You may just have to buy a power cable and put the operating system on it. That's fine. But let's go ahead and keep pushing our cart together here. So looking at this here, I got these two. I need to get a small switch. So I'm going to go a Cisco switch. And you can get a 24 port if you want, if you really want to learn how to do this. That's fine. This catalyst right here will be perfect. I have one of these. I've used it before. I've helped a client with one. It's got a console port on there if you want to learn how to do like CLI commands, command line interface. You're gonna need like a standard power supply, which plugs into a standard desktop. The ports 1 and 2 here are your ports that you can connect from switch to switch, or connect from your local modem router over to this as well. Remember, the switch connects the devices to the network. The routers connect different buildings and from the different sites. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the cart here, and we're going to go back and review the cart. We got a switch, so we got the computer. Then we have a switch, which we're going to take these cables and go from the back of this computer and wire into here. So now you need, you should already have a small modem or router in your house, but we're going to go ahead and do a small network router. Okay, and you can get it wireless, you can get it wired, it doesn't matter, whichever. Or TP-Link is actually pretty good. I've used them. I used theirs before. You can get a pretty cheap one. Let's go and see what this one here looks like here. So the internet port that you have on the back of this, you're gonna go from whoever your service provider is, AT&T, Comcast, AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever. They are gonna have a cable probably come out of the wall, and then if you look on the back of the modem, you will see an internet port, and you'll plug your cable, network cable, from there to this blue part here, and then from this part here, from 1 through 4, you can plug that into the small switch that we have. And there's on a separate video, if I have some time, I'll have to make one to show you how to put that together, but this is just like an overview. So I got my cables, I got 10 of them. I got my computer, and I would say get multiple. Probably get like at least get 2. Okay, at least get 2, and then you can get like a small switch, and then you can get a router. If you don't have one, you can get there. Most people probably have a Comcast router or something like that looks like this. So on the back, where you have this orange marking here, you can plug either one of these ports into the switch, but I prefer to do this one here. And you go from here into the back of your small router that we had up there. Okay, and then that right there, people, I mean, you pretty much have your home lab like all in the cart. And for less, probably around $300, you should be able to set up a small lab at home. But before you spend any money, go to your local like school. You can go to like the local high school in your community and see if they have some old computers that they're throwing away. And that right there, people, is going to elevate your IT experience on another level. That's what I currently do. You've seen the videos that I have. If you look back, you're going to see videos of me demoing different pieces of equipment. This equipment I literally got for free. Some of it I've bought, but majority of the IT equipment I've gotten in my entire life, I've gotten because somebody was throwing it away and I just wanted to tinker with it and figure out how to use it. So, people, like, listen, and subscribe to the channel, DivTech 101, aka Black Mantle. Look forward to bringing more content to you all soon.